Hello and welcome back to the Efficient Skillet. My name is Willie and I hope that you're doing extremely well out there. I know that I am. Today's cooking video is brought to you in part by Brian Jones CPA. With April 15th coming on fast, tax day will be here before you know it. Let Brian Jones help you get the most out of what you can keep and deduct from your income taxes. Brian will take the headache out of taxes and help you get the most. Put your mind at ease about all the complexity of taxes and let Brian Jones do it for you. Give Brian a call at 936-327-7411 or click his ad on my top headlines page. Today I'm going to show y'all how to make some really good chicken pot pie. Okay, so whenever it comes to making a chicken pot pie, the first thing you're going to do is start with the crust, okay? And you know, you can do a store-bought one, that's fine. I like the homemade, I think it's way better. And it's really easy to do, you know. So to make the crust, you want to start out with 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And to that, we're going to add a pinch of salt. And we want to mix that salt in with that flour before we add our next ingredient. That's good. Now next we're going to add 10 tablespoons of real butter. Now when it comes to butter, if you buy it in these sticks like this, it has tablespoons pre-measured out and you can cut them. One stick has 8, so you take 8 tablespoons of butter, which is a stick, and then 2 more from another stick. And what you're going to do is cut them into little cubes like this and then drop that right into our all-purpose flour. With that stuff mixed in, this is where you got to put your hands in the flour. Make sure you wash your hands good, obviously. And what you want to do is just take your hands and just start working this butter into this flour like this. Now this butter's cold and hard. That's how you want it to be when you do this. So take your hands and just start squeezing it and working it into that flour. Okay, you want to work that butter until your flour gets like this right here. The next thing we're going to do is take 2 egg yolks and we're going to put 4 tablespoons of very cold water into the egg yolks. Okay, so we've got 4 tablespoons of water, 2 egg yolks, and just carefully mix them together. Not sloshing it all over the kitchen and getting on people's nerves. Okay, once you have those mixed together, you pour about half of it into your flour. And then you just start mixing it. Well, wait a minute, I better use this fork. Yeah, that's working good. Okay. Now you pour the rest of it in. And you continue working it. Now this right here is going to make some really, now you can use this for, this is just a general purpose pie crust and it's a really great way to go. See, look. This will be our pie crust, and as you can see, it's really easy to do. Doesn't have a lot of ingredients. You don't have to add baking powder or anything like that to it, or yeast or anything. So next what we want to do is just put it out onto a pastry mat like this. Like I said, this can be used for a pecan pie or a lemon meringue pie or a chicken pot pie. It's just a very nice general purpose crust. And what you want to do is just squeeze this and form it into a dough. Once you got it formed into a dough, we're going to wrap it in plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Into the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Okay, so next you want to take 1 large boneless, skinless chicken breast. But as you can see, this really isn't a large boneless, skinless. It's kind of a small, wimpy one. And I had another small wimpy one, so you put them both together and that's about equal to a large boneless, skinless chicken breast. So either one large boneless, skinless chicken breast or two wimpy boneless, skinless chicken breasts. And as we say in East Texas, it's the same difference. I'm not sure that makes sense, but that's how we've always talked in East Texas. And you want to cut it into little chunks like you see me doing here. I'll slice it into little slices like this. And then you just want to go like this, put them together and watch out for this knife, man. This thing will cut through your finger just like it does this chicken, no problem. Put that aside. And as usual, my cat Shorty is just, he won't stop being hungry. And slice this chicken into little pieces like this. Okay, with our chicken cut up, what you want to do now is dump it into a mixing bowl. And then take your favorite seasoning and season it to taste. I recommend this Cavender's all-purpose Greek seasoning. This stuff is just great, man. So season it to taste. I'm going to put about that much in there. And then I'm going to put a tablespoon of fresh chopped up thyme. And I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of fresh chopped parsley. And I'm going to take my old friend Mr. Bamboo Spoon and we're just kind of mix that in with that chicken there. Like that. I'm going to take some all-purpose flour, just a little bit, and sprinkle it on there, just enough to coat that chicken. Then stir it in there. Stir it in and coat that chicken with that flour. A little bit more. There we go, and then set that aside. Okay, so now what I've done is I've got my skillet preheated to 350 degrees, and we're just gonna start out by putting a little olive oil in our pan, and then we're gonna take one medium-sized chopped yellow onion and throw it in there. 3 cloves of garlic chopped. And what would chicken pot pie be without peas and carrots? So I bought these. These are frozen from the frozen vegetable section at the store. So 1 cup of those. This is gonna all obviously be our pie filling. And we wanna start working this around in our pan. To that, we're gonna add 3 pinches of salt. A pinch is a good amount of salt if you do it right. And to that, we're gonna add our chicken that we mixed with parsley and thyme and flour and Greek seasoning, and start working that into it. Now make sure you get that chicken all unlumped and separated. Okay, our chicken's all nice and it's pretty much cooked. Our onions have cooked down. What we want to do is sprinkle a little more all-purpose flour on there. Not a whole lot, just about like that. And then what we want to do is take 1 cup of heavy whipping cream and add it to our mix here. Stir it all in. Let it cook for a couple of more minutes, and then we'll be ready to go to the next step. Now, you know, before I added that heavy whipping cream and flour, make sure you notice that I let the onions cook down a lot, okay? All right, so this is going to be our chicken pot pie filling. So at this point, our filling is done and cooked, so we're gonna turn our burner off and set this aside. Okay, our dough has been in the refrigerator for 30 minutes now, so we're ready now to start rolling out our pie dough. And here it is, so let's take it out of the package, out of the plastic, put it there, throw just a little flour on it. That should do it. And then just start rolling this dough out. Be patient with it. It's gonna work. This is some beautiful, beautiful pie dough, man. It just works really good. So, but just take your time. You're gonna see this, you know, cracking on. Just keep working with it. This stuff rolls out into I did this the other day in front of Angel, my wife, and she walked by, and she's real good at making pie doughs, and it stopped her in her tracks. She goes, "Did you buy that at the store?" I said, "No, Angel, that's homemade." She was impressed, and that's something, because Angel knows her way around the kitchen, especially in the area of bacon. Angel's real smart about bacon. Baking, she likes bacon too. Hope I don't get in trouble. She probably won't watch this video, so I should be safe. But just keep rolling this out. Okay. All right, we got our pie dough rolled out. So what we're gonna do now is take our rolling pin, and you just wanna kind of take this right here and put it up on that rolling pin like that, and then carefully just go like this. It almost does it for you. It rolls right up on there. Then you take your pie plate, pie pan, whatever, you put it right there, and you take your rolling pin and do this. Now, as you can see, it's obviously too big. That's fine, because we're still gonna use the trim that comes off from this. And then you just want to work it down into there. If you see a little spot that's got a hole like that right there, it's okay to take something like that and just press it there, and it'll be just fine. It's going to get filled in with chicken, that delicious chicken filling anyway. Okay, now, so what you want to do now is with that the crust down there, you want to trim around, but leave you a little bit to work with hanging out, because that's going to be the edge of our dough that we do up all nice and pretty. Now this spot right here, it's a little short, so what I'm going to do is just take a little piece of this here, like that. We're just going to put it right there and press it, and that'll work fine. And here is our pie crust. All right, we're going to take our pie filling. I'm going to take this large spoon, and I'm just going to start spooning it into our pie crust. All right, now take your spoon and just kind of push this down into here and even it out a little bit, like that. We're gonna set this aside. And then this dough right here, we're gonna take this and make this the top of the pie crust. So press it all together and roll it out. Okay, I've got my the top of my crust rolled out, so once again, I'm going to take it, just gently throw it up on the rolling pin and do that. We're going to bring our pie crust in, or pie back in the picture. And then we're going to take this, put it right here, and just roll it back out. Here's the top of our crust. What we want to do now is just start folding like this and squeezing it together, and then kind of rolling it down there like this. Now with that rolled down there, you just want to take a finger and go like this. There we go. And there is our pie. Now there's one more thing we got to do. A knife, we're going to, for ventilation, so to avoid any problems, we're going to take our knife and we're just going to cut 3 little slits in there. And it really looks cool whenever you do it. So it's not only a necessary thing, but it's it looks cool too. It makes your pie look very traditional. Okay, so we're going to take our pie and we're going to put it in the oven. All right, our oven's at heated to 350 degrees. We're going to put our pie in there and we're going to cook it for 40 minutes. Okay, it's been 40 minutes now, so let's take our pie out of the oven here. Oh man, and look at that. And I think I'm going to go kind of traditional and put that in the kitchen windowsill and let it cool. Okay, so I've had this pie cooling for about 30 minutes now, so cooling in the kitchen windowsill. So we're gonna cut into this pie and we're gonna see what we got. Oh man, look at that. Look at that. The pie lifts right out. That buttery crust doesn't stick. I didn't have to put no stick spray in it or anything like that. So here we go. Man, that is good. Those peas really come through, the peas and carrots. I can taste the thyme. There's the chicken. You got the onions and the garlic. It's kind of thick and creamy. And then that crust, this crust is so perfect. It's flaky. It's like the best pie crust ever, anywhere, store-bought or homemade. This is the best pie crust you can ever make. Man. Man, that's good. Now that's a chicken pot pie, folks. So anyway, we hope you like it and we hope you try it. If you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button. If there's any comments you'd like to leave, feel free to leave them below about anything in the world. And you can email us, efficientskillet@gmail.com. Make America great again.